Oh my goodness, we made it to the last part of the fraction review. We are now going to move on to dividing fractions. Okay, so dividing fractions, I'm just going to jump right into dividing with mixed numbers because dividing fractions and multiplying fractions are the same thing except one small difference. We don't really multiply fractions, or excuse me, we don't really divide fractions, we multiply them. We multiply them with the reciprocal. So if you were with me for the last video, you know that in order to multiply or divide fractions, we must change them into improper fractions first if they are mixed numbers. If they're not mixed numbers, like saying that these are not there, you would multiply straight across, okay? And in fact, let's practice this a little bit. What we will do is pretend that these mixed numbers are actually regular fractions. So pretend this 2 isn't there. We'll just review the basic steps of division first. Basic steps of dividing fractions, however you want to say it. Okay, so if these are not there, what we do then is this. First, keep the first fraction the same. Okay, change the division problem to a multiplication problem. Then we're going to multiply it by the reciprocal of the second problem. Basically what I'm saying is flip your problem. So if this is 1 over 3, you're going to multiply 3 over 1. Do you see that? Because again, fractions and division mean the same thing. And so in order to make things easier for you, the trick for the math of dividing is 1, keep the first fraction the same. 2, change your problem into a multiplication problem. 3, multiply by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal means the opposite, the reciprocal part of a number. So if this is 1 over 3, what you're going to multiply it by is 3 over 1. You only flip the reciprocal, the second number, not the first. And then you would see if you can reduce. And if you remember from the last video, I like to do my diagonally reducing. First, let's pretend I looked at the multiplication chart, see if any of this stuff is going to reduce. And I realize it doesn't. So I now just multiply straight across. I have a 3 and I have a 2. But remember, you can never leave things improper. So basically, once you do your division, okay, you know that you are going to end up with 2 goes into 3 one time, 2, here you go. And again, if you are still having trouble with the division, go back and look at the Heart Academy of Long Division, in which I show you how to do this. And when you do this, it leaves you with the 3 things that you need in order to create your mixed number, okay? The 1 is your whole number, the remainder is your numerator, the number outside the house is your denominator. So altogether, that final answer would be 1 and a half, 1 and 1/2, or 1 and a half, excuse me. So that's what you do if you have fractions that do not have whole numbers, basically fractions that are regular and not mixed numbers. Now I'm going to go back and do the original problem, which means fractions that are mixed numbers. Remember, when multiplying and dividing fractions, you must change them into improper fractions first. So that means going and taking this, multiplying the whole number with the denominator. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Keep the same denominator. Don't flip it just yet. Do not flip this. You have to change it into an improper before you flip. So when I divide mixed numbers, I just change it into improper first, carrying the division sign like it originally is. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13 over 3. Now I'm going to flip. Now that I have 2 improper fractions, change it to multiplication. Now I'm going to flip the reciprocal. So I have 3 over 13. See that? And I'm back to my multiplication basics. I'm going to reduce diagonally. I will look on my chart to see if any of these numbers will reduce. Okay, and when I do that, I have 5 times 3. I'm going to pretend that I looked. None of these are going to reduce, okay? 5 times 3 is 15. Yeah, that's 1. 2 times 13 is 26. Oh, and look at that. I have 15 over 26. This is not improper, so I know I can keep this fraction as is. Okay? Let's try number 3. Remember, first step, change them into improper. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So I have 7. Okay, and, oh, wait a minute, I think I'm skipping number 2. Let me go back and do number 2. Thank you. Must have heard some of you guys. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5, so I have 5 over 2. Okay, 4 times 2 is 4 times 5 is 20, plus 3 is 23. And remember, once they've changed into improper, keep the first one the same, change the problem to multiplication, flip the second one, do the reciprocal thing. Ta-da! So, and then I reduce diagonally. You know how I do. Reducing diagonally. And let's pretend I look for a 5 and a 23 in my chart, and a 2 and a 5 in my chart. If you're not sure what I'm doing, you need to go back a video and check out how to reduce diagonally in order to help you out. I'm going to tell you already, let's pretend I looked at my chart, none of these are going to reduce. So I'm going to multiply straight across. 5 times 5 is 25. And then 2 times 23 is 46. Okay? This is not going to reduce any further because I looked in the chart, did not see any reduction with diagonally reducing. So multiplying straight across, there's our answer. Let's practice the next one. Now I'm on number 3. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1, 7 over 3. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 1. Guess what? 7 over 3. 6 plus 7, 7 over 2. Almost thought it was the same thing. Keep the first one the same, change it to multiply, and flip. Okay? Reducing diagonally here and here. Let's pretend I looked in my chart for a 2 and a 3. I did not find one in the same row. But, as you know, any number will reduce itself by 1. Now multiply straight across. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 times 1 is 3. Final answer, 2/3. All right, let's go on to the next one, moving right along. 4 times 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Keeping the same bottom number. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Keeping the same bottom number. Keeping the first number the same. Change it to multiplication. And the reciprocal, 14. There you go. So now I have 17 times 3, which is 51. 4 times 14, 56. That's not going to reduce. Oh, well, I guess I should have told you that if I were to look at the chart by reducing diagonally, I knew that it was not going to reduce. So there was no need to change any of these numbers. Multiply straight across. One more. Here we go. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2. Okay, I'm going to work up here. Keep the first one the same. Change the multiplication. Flip the second one. Reduce diagonally, if you will. Looking at your charts, I can tell you now that none of these are going to reduce. So all I have to do now is multiply straight across. 11 times 2 is 22. 3 times 5 is 15. But we have an improper fraction, top heavy. So we need to do this. And remember to review the other videos for division and also for reducing, also for changing mixed numbers into improper. There are 3 different sets of videos before this one that will show you how to do some of the things that you might be having problems with. So if you just started with this video, it might seem a little complicated on top of my messiness. So you know what you need to do is go back. You do all this division, your final answer will be 1 7/15 for number 5, final answer. So that is my review for fraction, guys. Hopefully, I'm sure it's got to at least. Most of this sounded familiar as we've done it in class for the past 2 months. And this was just a review to get you ready for your midterm exam. All right. See you on the next one.